veteran pilot Erik Delgado is one of many to have a frightening high-altitude encounter.
30 years of flying, man, I'd never seen anything like it.
During his career as a U.S. Air Force pilot and a cargo pilot, Erik has logged thousands of hours in the air.
For someone like Erik, with his vast experience in the military and commercial flying, this was just another day in the office.
Erik's night starts like any other. He's flown the same cargo route from Querétaro, Mexico to Memphis, Tennessee with his first officer for almost a month. The men take off without a hitch and are soon cruising through Mexican airspace at over 11,000 meters, not knowing that they're flying over a UFO hotspot.
Mexico's had a long history of very interesting UFO sightings, going back decades and decades.
But when you're on a routine flight, chances are nothing's going to happen to you night after night. So I don't think they were on alert.
In a single moment, Erik's night goes from routine to potentially life-threatening.
Autopods connected were 37,000 feet. I looked over my left shoulder. I see a light, like if you could imagine a lighthouse in thin fog, and it's spinning around. Holy shit. My heart stopped and I'm thinking, man, it's a plane. Oh my God, he's turning into us. Our procedures tell us to disconnect the autopilot to get out of an imminent collision. That's what I thought was happening.
As this unknown craft invades his airspace, Erik is shocked and scared beyond belief.
I was expecting the traffic collision and avoidance systems. This is gonna start screaming at us to descend, and there was nothing, man, nothing. No video, audio, nothing other than our eyeballs.
In both the pilot and the first officer's case here, they're former military. They would absolutely be prepared for mechanical failure, for weather conditions. I don't know that they train you for what happens when a UFO shows up.
And before Erik can even think of calling ground control for help, the object makes the first move.
This thing slowly rotates and then kind of floats. This guy parked himself off our left wingtip, and the whole landing light, flashlight, whatever the hell it was, I mean, it's not there anymore. It kept this constant pulse. It never wavered. We're just watching it, going bright, dim, bright, dim. I don't see any strobe lights. I don't see any beacon lights, nav lights. Man, I don't even see any wings. No sound, no reverberation. It was silence.
Erik comes to an incredible conclusion.
I realized, this thing's UFO, man. Like, where's my camera?
Yeah, let me zoom in, man. It's like an orb, man. Look at that shit. It's pulsating.
Erik is far from being the only pilot to see strange lights in the sky. Airborne sightings go all the way back to the early days of aviation. One of the first and most famous air encounters occurred in 1947.
The Kenneth Arnold sighting is really the grandfather of all aerial encounters. On June 24th, 1947, Kenneth Arnold was flying in Washington State near Mount Rainier when all of a sudden he saw several strange objects flying through the mountains.
I assumed at the time they were a new formation or a new type of jet, though I was baffled by the fact that they did not have any tails. It passed almost directly in front of me.
Kenneth Arnold described their motion as being saucers skipping on water.
That is where our modern flying saucer term came, and what really brought the American public to the realization that something was going on in our skies.
If it's not made by our science or our Army Air Forces, I am inclined to believe that it's of an extraterrestrial origin.
As a pilot, seeing a UFO is an unexpected and unwanted event.
If you were a pilot in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and you reported a sighting, chances are you would have a desk job the next day.
But in this new era of ufology, viewpoints are changing, and the truth is emerging.
Some 10 or so years ago, they issued a directive to commercial pilots that if you had a UFO incident, you should report it to one of these civilian groups such as NARCAP.
Now pilots are coming clean, and this is good news because finally we're getting the truth about what's going on in our skies.
No one wants to be the person who saw aliens. So ultimately, for people to come forward and they have that credibility, pushes the needle forward.
Erik's incredible encounter will give the world a stunning look at a UFO up close. And it's not over. As he nears the US border, Erik realizes the strange object is tracking him.
I start to film it, and this thing kind of slides further back. I wonder, does he know I'm doing this? I got on the radio and I said, platillos, platillos, which in Spanish means UFOs.
Platillos, platillos. He's a pulsating orb. Look at that, dude. Look at that.
I'm trying to hold the camera as steady as possible.
And suddenly, it was gone.
What, I was like, he just disappeared. Where'd he go? Is he there? All right. Oh, it's the clouds.
We're kind of flabbergasted by the whole thing. I'm looking at my nav display and there's nothing there.
Well, there it is. Right there, man, on my ND. There's our airplane. And there's no TCAS. There's weather about 40 miles off our left wingtip where this thing seems to have disappeared.
The most dramatic part is he then pans down to show the viewer the actual aircraft avoidance system. You can see the weather that the light disappeared into, but the actual object itself is not registering on any of his systems. This is bizarre. For all intents and purposes, it is by definition an unidentified flying object.
Encountering an unknown object at high altitude is alarming for any pilot. A commercial flight over New Mexico experienced this terror firsthand.
On February 21st, 2021, an American Airlines flight over New Mexico called in air traffic control to report a strange object flying above their aircraft.
Have any targets up here? We just had something go right over the top of us that, I hate to say this, looked like a long cylindrical object.
You can tell just from the pilot's own reaction that this is nothing he's ever seen before. And when it approaches that close to one's own aircraft, that's gotta raise all kinds of alarm bells.
It almost looked like a cruise missile type of thing moving really fast that went right over the top of us.
It was a really close call. It was too close for comfort.
So this is definitely a UFO event because nobody really knows what this thing was.
Aviation laws dictate that aircraft are not allowed to approach closely. It's far too dangerous. And yet often we have these UFOs approaching aircraft much closer than they should be.
Much like the pilots who spotted the cylindrical object in New Mexico, Erik and his first officer are stunned by their close brush with the unknown.
You're trying to reason through this. Good grief, you know, what do we do? What do we say? We're replaying this thing, and it was in the replaying of it that you could see a shape. It was almost like an orb type teardrop thing.
Flying through storm clouds, Erik loses sight of the craft and hopes it's gone for good.
We pop out the weather, and this thing is still there. I'm just like, man, what is going on?
Dude, it's pulsing, man. Look at that. See, look at the shape. See it? As I zoom in, you'll get like a little bit of a teardrop.
On the verge of U.S. airspace, the unidentified craft transforms.
Minutes before we changed from Monterey Center to Houston Center, this thing started peeling off. Thank God I was rolling then because it started changing colors.
He's pulling away, dude. And he's turning colors too. He's pulling away.
And it's gone, man. It was that fast. Nothing we have that's gonna move that fast.
And just like that, whatever it was is gone.
So my first officer was an ex-Air Force pilot like I was. He told me two things. He goes, one, I don't know what it was, and two, he goes, I want a copy of that video.
This is very compelling footage of something that's clearly unexplained.
It didn't act like an airplane, it didn't move like an airplane, it didn't sound like an airplane, it didn't look like an airplane. What the hell is this thing?
The audio recorded during Erik's encounter also paints a compelling picture.
It really helps to hear Erik's story in his own words as it is happening.
Anything? Any TCAS returns? No. Okay, flip the switch down. He's definitely above our altitude. Yeah, this guy is not reporting TCAS. That is a unidentified flying object, bro. I can finally say I saw one now. That is cool.
This is a seasoned pilot, tens of thousands of hours in the air, and he could not explain it.
I was reviewing the clip over and over again, and I can't believe what I just saw.
Looking to share his stunning encounter, Erik reports his sighting to the Mutual UFO Network.
They said, we have footage on file that looks a lot like yours, but it's taken from the ground. You're the first one that's been taken from the air.
No matter their shape, these objects move differently than our own aircraft.
This thing moved faster than any airplane I am familiar with.
The main noteworthy element of this object's behavior is that it seemed intelligent. It comes down, it stops, it shines a light at them, and it simply paces them at a very close distance for 30 minutes. That's indicative of a plan.
If we look at Delgado's sighting, he saw a Foo Fighter, basically. During the Second World War, fighter pilots and bomber pilots would often report balls of light that would dance around their aircraft.
All Erik knows is that this is nothing he's seen before, not in 30 years of flying.
There's no drones that I know that will go up that high and trail us at Mach 8 times the speed of sound.
It's able to fly at a really good speed without any obvious aerodynamic features.
It's so obviously not a balloon, couldn't possibly be a blimp or a shooting star. What is this thing? That's the million-dollar question.
If radar did not pick up this aircraft, technically it was carrying some sort of technology that made it not detectable by radar. Whether it was a stealth aircraft or something else, that's the mystery.
And this is what stealth is all about.
Another startling fact that shakes Erik's nerves, deepens the mystery.
We may be able to hide from radar, but not from the human ear.
As a tanker pilot, you get close enough formation to some of these fighters. I mean, it's loud. There was no sound. It started changing colors to dirty white, to like a pink, a red, and then it was gone.